This is what a Capricorn stellium feels like. We have basically all the inner planets moving through Capricorn at the same time. We have Mercury, Mars, the Sun, and Venus all in that one sign. If you notice the numbers underneath the glyphs for the planets, you'll see that both the Sun and Mars are at 19 degrees of Capricorn. They're in the same place. This is called a Mars cazimi. Mars cazimi is like a rebirth or just a moment of super emphasis on Mars themes, which are violence, triumph. Mars advocacy is another one. Mars really does view the world as kind of a contest or a fight. There is a huge amount of drive and willpower, which is sometimes great, but there is also the like unshakable urge to win, even in situations where it's not a contest. Mars, being the planet of violence, is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. I often think about this in terms of like state sanctioned violence or very well resourced and organized aggressors. So Mars is upheld in this sign. It's currently being lit up by the sun. It's like lit up by the current power structure. So this like super powered, well-resourced, highly aggressive Mars and the sun are all up in Venus's business. Venus is at 20 degrees of Capricorn. Venus just had her cazimi moment, her like rebirth with the sun on the 6th. She's like a brand newborn baby. She's still so close to the sun, you cannot see her in the sky. Venus is the planet of good faith, diplomacy, relationships, social cohesion. She is severely weakened just by virtue of being that close to the sun. Meanwhile, Mars has everything he needs. And this clump of planets in Capricorn is coming into a square with Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. Transiting Chiron is going to point out a collective wound that we are all experiencing the symptoms of, and that it is our responsibility to collectively acknowledge and heal and give that wound what it needs in order to stop making our lives miserable. Chiron is in Aries, a Mars-ruled sign. Aries is the sign of the warrior. And during its long-term transit of Aries, we have been forced to look at what we as a society, what we lose when we allow unbridled bloodlust to drive our behavior. What do we lose when we reward and resource people who would prefer to kill someone than to take one or two steps to the right? That kind of behavior makes all of us less safe. And all of these planets in Capricorn, a Saturn-ruled sign that is very concerned with showing you what the consequences of your past decisions and behaviors are. It's all saying, hey, this is where that road leads. Are you surprised? Because Saturn rules Capricorn, I included Saturn in this chart. You can see Saturn is very close to Neptune in Pisces right now. Typically, Saturn is the planet of limits and like defined limits. It's like the reality check planet. Any planet that gets this close to Neptune, however, it's wearing a VR headset and doesn't know it. It's why real life has been feeling so distinctly unreal for a while now. This is why public opinion on the violence that we're witnessing is so divided that it's like, I don't know what world you're living in. How can you be viewing what's happening through a lens that says, this is right, this is normal, we're just taking things back? Like, there's this very clear divide and like rift in the reality that we are living in with each other. And this moment is a moment when Mars kind of gets to call the shots on what reality we all live in. I do want to point out another important characteristic of this moment, which is that all of these planets in Capricorn, they are opposing Jupiter in Cancer. This is significant because, as I mentioned, Mars is exalted, so it's superpowered. Jupiter is also exalted, so it's superpowered too. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, of knowledge, of like success and strength through community. Jupiter is very concerned with building strong collectives. Jupiter's like, there's a ton of us here. How do we all make each other's lives better, happier, safer, more successful? How do we all thrive together? And Jupiter is superpowered in Cancer because Cancer is kind of the sign that wants that same thing. Cancer is the sign of the family, the tribe. I will say that's part of why we're seeing so much like in-group, out-group stuff. Jupiter is also an expander. It simply increases anything it touches or gets into conversation with. So it kind of is taking the Mars Cazimi moment to a more exaggerated place. But Jupiter in Cancer being involved is also the reason we are seeing such a dramatic response and such solidarity from the community, from the collective. It's absolutely a showdown between the state and the people. And as we get further into the month, like more towards the end of January, all those planets in Capricorn, they're going to enter Aquarius and they're going to meet up with Pluto, which is very much another symbol of like the power of the state versus the power of the people. When the intentions of those two entities are at odds, who wins? I saved the Jupiter piece for last because I really did want to end on that note of like, yes, Mars is superpowered right now. So is Jupiter. And Jupiter is kind of saying, absolutely the fuck not. No, your behavior makes us all unsafe and you're done. Anyway, I hope this was helpful and interesting. I'm like so tentative to even say this, but I'm intending to be posting a little more frequently on here again. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon, maybe, if you're lucky. Good job today. Good luck out there.